Hey everybody, it's Perez, joined by, well, I guess the first question is, do I call you Heidi Montag or Heidi Pratt?
I don't know. I always debate that. So I'm not sure. Legally, it's Pratt, but I think it's Montag with association.
Yeah, I feel like you're always Heidi Montag to me, and I will call you that. So I'm here with Heidi Montag and her mom, Darlene, and they are starring in a new TV show for Lifetime called The Mother-Daughter Experiment. We'll get to that, but first, it's been a long time since I've seen you.
I know you look so good. I'm very impressed.
I don't feel good. I feel really like...
And you smell good.
Oh, thanks. I showered just for you. Well, no, I went to the gym and I shower afterwards every time. But a lot's gone on, and we have history. I'll say I went to your wedding, and I really like you. I really liked you. And then all of a sudden, Spencer went crazy. Would you acknowledge that he went crazy? Would he acknowledge that he went crazy?
I think that we just went through a very stressful and emotional time and kind of had like our world ripped out from under us. And then on top of that, I had all this surgery.
How was it ripped out from under you? With the show being canceled?
Yeah, I think with the show being done and just kind of things ending and overlapsing, and it was just a weird time. And then I had all the surgery that I think was very stressful, and for him being like my nurse all the time, and that's very traumatizing. So I think there was a lot of trauma going on, and then we kind of felt like, you know, our family and our close friends kind of turned against us, so we felt alone. So I think all these isolating factors led to a meltdown.
So you would call it a meltdown? Well, I don't think you had the meltdown. I think he had the meltdown. Did you have one too?
Yeah, I think it was more of my meltdown was like the surgery and all that happening. And then he just kind of emotionally took on what I was going through, plus what he was going through. So he kind of had the unfortunate view of the public of having, you know, a meltdown or whatever it was. But really, I think most of it was mine. His was just more public.
So the surgery was... let's clarify this, because I get it confused now. I always was under the assumption that it was his idea for you to have all this work done. Was that true?
No, so he was against me doing it.
Really?
Yeah, so we met with my doctor, and the doctor was like, hey, it will be easy and this and that. And Spencer was like, honestly, I loved you before you had any surgery. We were together a long time before that. I don't want to go through this again with you, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, it's my choice, and I'm going to do it. And he was like, well, you know, you can decide that, but I would prefer you not to do that. So he was against the surgery from the beginning, and then he was the one stuck taking care of me. And so I think he probably was really upset with me as well for going through that. And then he got the public blame for it, which was crazy to me. I never thought that would have happened.
And then you got even more surgery to get your boobs even bigger, right?
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. The big one, the big meltdown.
Well, actually, you did like a whole bunch of procedures at once, right? How many were there?
Like 10.
Oh my goodness.
Like 10, yeah.
Right now, you seem like your lips are a normal size. And,
no injections.
Yeah.
Things worn off.
You haven't had a lot of procedures or anything done in the last couple of years?
No, I even have forehead wrinkles. I have.
Oh my God.
I know.
It happens.
I know.
How old are we now? 29. Oh my God, almost turning 30. Oh, I gotta say, I was surprised to not see Spencer with you today. I was under the assumption also that he manages you. Does he?
No, I feel like I'm more of the manager in the last 5 years. I think after that, he kind of was just like, all right, I think we need to do our own things. I mean, I have an official manager, Kyle.
You do? Okay.
Yeah, at Octagon. So he's my like official manager, but really I'm our accountant as well. So I'm like the accountant, manager, I mean, I do it all.
In the past, a lot of people on the production side of the Hills felt very strongly about him in a not favorable way. He allegedly threatened somebody, or maybe not allegedly, that happened.
Well, what happened was this producer pushed me physically.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so she legally wasn't allowed to be on set anymore because she came behind and pushed me like out of nowhere. So she got into it. So he's protective of me. So then he was like, all right, she shouldn't be on set. So she went up and threatened him and got in his face and did all these hand gestures. And then he said to her, what are you trying to do? Because she was like, you need to punch Stephanie in the face too and give her that Snooki effect. And he's like, what are you trying to do? make me punch my sister in the face? What are you trying to get me to like fight you or something, saying that to me? And she said that was a threat. She was already legally in trouble with me. So it was like her out saying he threatened her and turning it around when really she physically pushed me and we had like a law, like a legal problem. Yeah, so it was
Drama.
intense.
That was real drama, not like fake drama that the rest of the show
That was intense, exactly. The real drama was all behind the scenes.
I would assume that the two of you at this point, you've been married a long time now. How long?
Yeah, 7 years.
7
And
years.
we've been together for 9.
Your lives are very intertwined. Your finances are also intertwined.
Yep.
You don't have your own separate bank account?
No, we have the same bank account, but really they're all my bank accounts right now because I'm the accountant. So I'll be like, all right, you can't buy this, this, and this. We have to do this. This is the budget. So I'm kind of like the boss.
Wow. Is that stressful on the relationship that your money is so mixed with his?
I don't think so because we've been together for so long.
True.
We live the same lifestyle and we do the same things. So no.
Well, your lifestyle now is very different than it was like 8 years ago, where Spencer was buying like new cars and blowing through money and things like that. Now you're living in Santa Barbara and you're there full time.
Yeah.
What's life like there?
It's very grounding. It's very relaxing and mellow. And so I come down here to do work and for things like this. But really our everyday life is just on the beach and we have 4 little dogs. So I'm like a full-time dog mom as well, which is intense because we have 2 Pomeranians and 2 Maltipoo. But really it's just, basic life and it's fun up there and easy and a different world.
I love Santa Barbara.
Me too.
It's magical. There's a reason why Oprah has a house there.
She could live anywhere.
I know. It's like there's a special energy there. Just like Perez Hilton was a pioneer, you and Spencer were also pioneers of the fame game. Like the two of you played it really well, like selling your own photos and doing deals with Us Weekly. Like how many Us Weekly covers did you have?
Like at least, not to exaggerate, 15.
Wow. And that was probably the magazine that gave you the most, you'd say?
I think it's the one we did the most exclusives with. Yeah, the sit downs and everything. And now you have people like J-Lo sitting down with Us Weekly and you're like, what? You wouldn't even talk to Us Weekly. So they took our whole game. So it's hard, you have to keep evolving. But it's like, why would you have us on the cover when J-Lo's like, I'll do it and sit down in for free? And you're like, what? You're just selling everybody out. What are you talking about? That is not a good idea. But they're so rich that they just don't care.
So, you've been around a long time. You're still working. In the future, like if you haven't booked a TV show in 3 or 4 or 5 years, well, first of all, you were having financial difficulties for a while. How are your finances these days?
Well, I'm the accountant, so I've reined it all in, and good. And we keep working. Yeah, I've done a show ever since The Hills every year, so I've been consistently working, which is good. And I've had to evolve as like a TV personality. I can't just be Heidi from The Hills. I'm a different type of person now.
We grow, we change, yeah. So finances are good. So are you at a point now, though, where, let's say worst case scenario, you never get work again in entertainment? Do you have to work again?
Yeah, I think we have to work again. I mean, we're good and we're at a great place and everything like that, and we have a great lifestyle, but we definitely have to keep working.
What would you envision yourself doing that would make you happy if you weren't working in entertainment?
I mean, I don't know if you can call it's not like a money job, but I want to be a mom. I really want to be an at-home mom, and I'm an at-home dog mom. So I think in the next year and a half, when my arm gets better, because I had arm surgery from CrossFit, I think that, we can start moving towards that.
I love that. Well, babies take money, let me tell you.
Right.
Holy moly.
Yeah, I think that's Spencer's main stress.
And he went back to school too.
Yep, and he has a USC political science degree. I went with him to the classes and took notes for him. And
What's he going to do with a political science degree?
He just enrolled 10 years ago, so he was like, all right, let me just.
He just finished what he started.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what's he doing professionally these days? Like, what's the last gig he got or has coming up that you can say?
Boot camp that we did. So that
hasn't aired yet?
No, that was less than a year ago.
That was less than a year ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we did that, and then Yeah, I think, who knows, we might be going back to the UK. You never know.
Really? Doing what? Something.
Maybe a surprise.
Oh, you heard that here
Yeah,
first.
maybe so.
What was the mother-daughter experiment like for you, Mom? You got to say something. You're here.
It was much different than what I thought that I was going to be involved in, but it ended up being a really healing experience for both of us. We just kind of thought we were at such a good place in our relationship, and kind of got sold to me by Heidi. It's like, oh, it'll be like a retreat and we'll just be hanging out and talking. It's like, it was traumatizing from the minute I walked through the front door.
Well, thanks, Mom.
Thanks for having me.
Bye, everybody.